Alright gang, we're going to start our second knife test series. We're only going to use 4 blades today, and I promise you, getting you guys some new stuff here. As you can see from left to right, we got the Gerber LMF 2, awesome knife. Really happy with that knife, great sheath, great system altogether. Next, you guys might recognize the Becker BK-2 or Becker companion knife. Now we've already tested that knife out, but I'm so confident in that knife, I wanted to add that into this series so you guys can see them next to one another and what their capabilities are. Next, we got the Fire Strike from Tops. Now this knife, you know, we'll see how well it does. This is one of those maybe large fighters, but I want to see how well it performs for wilderness survival type situations. And last, we have a Benchmade Persidio. Now I don't believe they make this one anymore, but I just want to again show you guys how some of these fighter knives or some of these large fighters aren't the best for wilderness survival. So when you guys go out and buy a knife, you know, you keep that in mind so you don't waste your money on something that's not really going to serve you well there out in the field. So just stay with us.
Adam here with Equipped Indoor. So we're going to start off our next knife series. A lot of questions about this Gerber LMF 2. Great knife. Comes in a variety of different colors from black to khaki. This is the ACU green one. The color one's a little bit more expensive. Some of the black ones you get pretty cheap, I think almost $40. So we're going to start off with our chopping test, give it 30 good whacks. Let's see how we did. We got a lanyard to fix on this one, so able to be a little bit more aggressive and get that reach far back there, get myself some leverage on there. All right, so here we go. Pretty decent chopping ability for a knife that size. You guys can see, and even though we had the serrations right there, I'm not that big on serrations. You guys have heard me talk about that before. Now when I got this knife, it was the only one they had, so I just opted to get the serrations. But excellent chopping capability for a knife that size. So that's definitely going to be a pass for a knife this big. Alright guys, now we've already done this test for the Becker, but I wanted to go ahead and add this in here real quick so you guys can see it compared to some of the other blades. So our Becker BK-2, 30 good whacks. You guys can see that we knocked out a big chunk out of the board right there, but we're still doing pretty well. So the weight of that blade and the energy, and it's already chopped and compromised the integrity of the board, that really took out a big slither. We'll throw this in the fire. Remember guys, don't burn pressure treated wood. It can be toxic. But I'm not going to eat off this fire right now, so I'm not really worried about it. Alright, next we'll move on to this Fire Strike. Now, I suspect that this blade's going to do pretty decent in reference to this. It's got a pretty good handle, angle of the handle, and it's pretty large. Not as heavy as a BK-2, but we'll see how it goes. Not bad. Not bad. The grip was actually a little hard to hold because of this finger groove right here. I actually kept on slipping because this was painful with the vibrations. And actually, if I had this knife, I'd probably 550 cord wrap it, give a little bit more substantial grip, but didn't do bad. Lanyard up for this one. This is a wild guy. bad. Better than I thought it would. Anytime you guys have a lanyard on your blade, I always like to get far back on there because I know I'm not going to lose it. That way I don't have to choke up on the blade. I can hold it back here, get a little bit more leverage. And that action, that extra action, almost acts like a hatchet. So, it's a technique for you. Alright. First notch, the LMF2 did pretty well. The Becker came in here, and because of the angle, I took off that big piece right there, tore the board up a little bit. Fire strike did pretty decent. No complaints there, about the same as the Persidio. Now, I did feel like those blades were a little bit easier to control. As you can see, I was more of a condensed bite into the, but like I said before, any tool that you use, you kind of get a certain muscle memory of how it works and how it best fits the way your body works. And when you switch back and forth for exercise like this, I find that there's a little bit of inconsistency, but we're trying to take out as many variables as we can. So pretty good.